So, Hoyoverse released the banner info for Ayaka and her weapon, and just like everyone else, I wanted to get my opinion out there. If you are looking for a new opinion, yeah, you won't be finding it here. But first, hello, Aaron here. How we doing today? We excited for Ayaka? We pulling? What's going on with y'all? Tell me about it in the comments below. Also, let's hear some opinions. I wonder if anyone has something new to say. I, for one, think these banners are meh. I've seen a lot of backlash about this banner because it isn't a good banner, and you could tell Hoyoverse did this because of their confidence with Ayaka as a character. They know she will sell decently well regardless of what she is paired with, so they put her in a cycle with worse units than other banners. But what's on her banners? Well, let's talk about that. Ayaka's banner consists of herself, Sayu, Razor, and Rosaria. So why is this not poggers? Well, in short, Sayu is a discount Jean, Razor is a discount Eula, and Rosaria is, well, she's actually pretty good. Sayu is an ammo swirler and healer, but that's it. Her skill does not help group, her burst can be unreliable, and her numbers are also not great. She also has a split scaling issue, which is only resolved at C6, but afterwards she does become an extremely valuable unit due to her crazy good healing capabilities and constant swirl procking. She's not as OP as other units, but the low skill floor and decent impact are reasons to pick her up if you are early on in your Genshin career. Okay, now Razor. Razor has been absurdly power crept. He was really good at the beginning when the game was not littered with a billion DPS units. However, the release of many other better DPS characters kicked him down, ending him with Eula's release that became the final nail in the coffin for him. He's one of the best physical DPS characters in the game, but physical carries are just not good because they cannot amplify their own damage and lack a lot of resistance shredding. Even if you are able to buff him to the point of being great, he still gets heavily outclassed by other characters with the same amount of investment. Rosaria is the only 4-star character on this banner that is actually great to pick up. She has great cryo application, she is able to grant crit rate to her entire team, she's able to easily refund energy to herself, especially with constellations, she's able to become a physical resistance shredder at C6, and she can also serve as an early physical DPS character like Razor. Her heights are not as high as Eula's or Ganyu in terms of DPS or sub-DPS capabilities, but she can perform there until you get better units. Then she can serve as a great support that serves a specific purpose as a physical resistance shredder and crit rate buffer. Rosaria has a lot more going for her than the other two who do one thing, but only subpar, whereas Rosaria does some things subpar, some amazingly well, and for others she is the go-to character. Now onto her weapon banner, which actually houses some pretty good weapons. Obviously Ayaka's signature weapon is here, and it is either the best or second best sword in the game because of the high basic attack, the crit damage on it, and the passive that super buffs most characters. Then the 4 stars are the Favonius weapons, which are really good, as they help support battery the rest of your team. They really are freaking fantastic and top 3 choices for most supports in the game. This weapon banner is really good in that regard, but absolutely plummets in value with the claymores that are present. The Unforged is the worst 5-star claymore in the game, and it is just outclassed by the Wolf's Gravestone. Gravestone has a stronger passive, but it requires a condition to proc. However, once it does proc, the passive it grants is greater in value than the Unforged, and it also buffs the rest of the team, also making it a supportive weapon. The Unforged requires a strong shield, and the DPS needs to hold this weapon too. Since the Unforged does not have a hard time proccing the passive, this weapon is better for bosses than Gravestone, making this more reliable but more conditional than the Gravestone. The other weapon is the Bell, which is so bad mainly because no one else can use it. It requires a main DPS HP scaling claymore character that can only be out on the field once per minute, and the character has to take damage for its effect to activate. It's just not good and will most likely never be good due to its extreme conditions with low benefit. So I'm just gonna get my 2 cents out there. I think this banner is getting dumpster fired for little reason. I think we're being a bit dramatic about it because it's not an awful banner in my opinion. Rosaria, Ayaka, the Favonius weapons, and Mistsplir are all fantastic. It's just that 2 of the 4 stars are not great, and the Bell and the Unforged are either bad or mediocre. Is it a fantastic banner? No. I don't think it's even good, but I don't think it sucks either. It just seems okay, but there appears to be a lot of people out there who believe this banner to be terrible, which I just don't agree with. I don't think it's as cracked as Ayato's banner or even as good as Ayaka's first banner, but it's not like we're getting Xinyan, Barbara, and Toma all on the same banner. And again, this is probably the next step up from those characters. I can see why it's a bad banner. Razor being one of the worst 4 stars and Sayu being mediocre but only at C6 is not good in the slightest, but I still think it has some value to it, just not for most of the player base. I still think it's rude for Hoyoverse to do this to Ayaka's banner though. Anyways, I'm out of thoughts. Head empty. Bye bye.